Right, so welcome to a new one on this channel, and this occasion is the Galactic Reverb from Cherry Audio. Now, I usually do a deep dive. This is what I do, but you know, the plugin is super simple. We just don't need to deep dive it. I just need to show you the controls, how they work, and just give you a few examples. So this is more like a quick overview of the plugin. So we have a modulation section, we have a dampening, the time control to control the reverb, some ducking, and an EQ, post EQ, just to control the sound a little bit better. It's just a pretty simple plugin. Now, this is not the most important part. The important part of this plugin is the vibe of the reverb. It's a long, modulated, kind of up to 35 seconds ridiculous reverb. And it's pretty good on CPU efficiency, so that's, you know, something good to have, especially, you know, with the reverb. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a new patch. I'm gonna just turn off the reverb, and I'm just gonna show you the synth I have right here. I have a pad. Still, I'm gonna be showing you how the plugin reacts to guitars, some beats, and some vocals. If I play something, this is going to be the sound I'm using right now. The reverb, it's off. Right? And again, it's a long, modulated pad. There's no reverb going on. Now, I'm going to be turning the Galactic on. As soon as you turn it on, you can notice the difference. Now, you can go right here and adjust the mix. We're doing 20-something. As soon as you go up, you can really tell. It also depends on what you're using. If you have a very, complex sound, it's gonna go up right here because you have more and you have buildups. So you have the output that you just can trim if it's going, too over the top. Just to control it a little bit better. Now you have 15 milliseconds. You can go all the way to 35, which is, crazy. I'm gonna go to 35 and just do it. And again, notice it's building up. So adjusting the output is something that we must do with this plugin, especially if you're going this crazy. Now, you have a lot of other controls just to control what's going on with the reverb. So you have a ducking. I'm gonna go all the way down, and we're gonna try this in a minute. We have a post EQ, and first we're gonna check the modulation. So right now we are doing some modulation. If I maybe do something like 15, and I go up on the mix, we can hear that it's just a little bit more, static. So the modulation will give you that a little bit of movement. Right? We go all the way up in depth, you can really hear. Now, on top of that, you have the dampening control. So if the sound is just too bright, and I'm going to go all the way down, all the way up on the wet, so we are just getting the reverbed signal, the processed one. So if it's too bright, and I'm going to play higher keys, you just can dampen the control. So it's going to get the reverb a lot darker. I'm going to go up and then down. There we go. And you can really notice the difference. If you go all the way up, it's really dark. And this is going to really help you to make a blend with your original signal, because the plugin, the reverb, is just pretty aggressive sometimes. Now notice that we need to go up on the output because the sound's just way too dark. So all of the controls, they right here make sense, right? If I turn it off, it's very different. But I'm gonna turn it on. you're gonna go down and then up, maybe to default values. You have a pre-delay, something very common that you get on pretty much all the reverbs. And then you get some ducking controls and some equalizer. And again, the main point of this section is to control, because this one is gonna go a little bit crazy. I'm gonna go to new and start from a default patch. And I'm gonna be playing something. It's gonna go up, and I'm gonna maybe go to 33, 40 something, so we can hear the vibe of the plugin. So the equalizer can cut low frequencies, or you can boost. Right now we are cutting lows, and we can cut high frequencies. If I can boost, I can boost it. I can go all the way up, and I can boost the higher frequencies. I'm gonna go all the way up on the mix so we can hear how much we are doing on the cut and the boost. I'm gonna cut the lows, maybe play a lower key. I'm gonna boost, I'm gonna cut. Right? I'm gonna do the same thing for the higher frequencies. I'm gonna cut, you can hear it right there, and I'm gonna boost. Right. And having an equalizer on this type of plugin, which is, you can go really crazy with the times and make it really long, it's something super useful because you can control what comes out a little bit better. Alright, so let me just bring a new type of sound, and I'm gonna turn off the reverb, and I'm just gonna show you what I have right here. It's just a plucky, sound, and it's because I want to show you the ducking right now. So I'm gonna turn the plugin on, and if I do the same, with default patch, we are gonna be getting that, right? So how the ducking works is that whenever you're playing the original signal, you're just playing whatever it is that you're playing. This is just listening to it. So if the input is coming in, it's gonna duck the reverb. It's gonna like going towards the dry more instead of going to the wet, and it's gonna let pass more of the dry than the wet. So when you release the keys, so when it decays, it's going to adjust and go back to whatever you have right here on the mix. So I'm gonna stay around maybe 25, something like that, so we can hear it. So I'm gonna start ducking. I'm gonna maybe go more attenuation, and I'm gonna do it really obvious so we can hear the effect. Now this is how fast it's gonna recover. Now I'm gonna be playing it, and you're gonna notice it. This is what it does. As soon as we play a key, it's ducking right here. I'm going really aggressive so you can see it. It's gonna duck, and I'm still holding the key, so it's getting input. I'm gonna release it, and then the reverb comes back. That's ducking. Now the recovery is going to decide how slow you're going back. Right now we are using 50 milliseconds, which is the shortest. We can go all the way up and make it really slow, which depends on the what you're doing on your track. It's going to work a little bit better because it's just smoother transition back to the reverb tail. Now the mix is going to affect what you're doing, right? Because what you're essentially doing is going up and down. We get more. And always, just in case, check your levels. Maybe we can go up on the output. Now, we are doing a lot of ducking. Let's do a little bit less. Alright, so I'm gonna go down in level. I'm gonna do a little bit more ducking and a shorter recovery. Let's do a little bit more. And all of these controls, remember the main idea is just to control the reverb just a little bit better. Right? Alright, so those are the controls. You get to dampen, you get a chorus-like modulated reverb, you get the ducking, which is a nice addition, and you get an EQ, and you get pretty long times. So you can use this reverb as, as I'm using it right now, to create long reverbs, but you can just use it for different things, and it just works quite well. And I'm going to show you right now. Just going to kill this one, and I'm going to go to a track, and I'm going to show you a guitar track. Right, so this is the track, right? And it's dry, the reverb is off. All right, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to just turn it on. And when you go to the patches, you have a lot of presets right here. So you can even go to guitars and maybe just check the presets. I'm going to be playing the presets. I'm going to do play and shut up. Now I'm going to stop it so we can hear the tail. Alright, so let's go to a new patch. Just short time so we can room the type of reverb. Let's go to the next ones, and the next ones are just, massive. Alright, so meeting hall. Alright, that's the tail. So yeah, you can use it, as an over-the-top, and this is the right word, over-the-top reverb, or just use it as a hall, or just room reverb. It works for that. Alright. Okay, so let's try some beats. I'm gonna be playing this. This is the beat. Pretty simple, standard beat. Now I'm going to be turning it on, and since I'm processing the whole kit, the whole sound with the reverb, the kick is gonna be a little bit in the way. But nonetheless, let's see what happens with the presets. I'm going to turn it on, and this is the default patch. Let's go to drums right here, and we have that. Now on the drums presets, what this does, it kind of works a lot with the ducking. It plays a lot with the ducking. We get cool effects. Let's go to the next one. Pretty cool. Dry. Wet. Let's try it on something else. Let's try something else. Large space. And the next ones, I guess, they are just a little bit more creative with the ducking. Let me start it over. Look at the ducking, how it's going. If I turn it off, nothing like it, right? I just do really different. Reflector, all right. All right, so you can use this as a sound effects. Why not? Turn it off, on, right? And then short space. Now again, just like I told you before, maybe for short ambiances, like rooms and something like that, which is short times, maybe just processing the kick, just chopping the kick before we send it to the reverb on a parallel bus, on a different bus, that would be just a little bit better. But all right. So let's see how it sounds on vocals. So let's try it on vocals, and I really like this plugin on synths. That's the main vibe, I guess, just my opinion. It sounds great on guitars, as we saw, and it sounds amazing on vocals. I'm gonna be playing the dry now.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
So yeah, that's the track. I'm gonna be turning the reverb on, and I'm gonna be playing this back again.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Great, right? So, okay, let's go to, and that's the default patch. So let's go to vocals and just, play it again.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Right. So let's try the next one.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Long tail. Let's try the next one.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Great, let's just listen again.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Right, I'm gonna turn it off so you can just have refreshed memory with the dry.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Let's do the wet.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
Let's do another one.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
One more.
Maybe if you let go, don't say goodbye.
All right, so it sounds great on vocals, guitars, everything that it has from mid to high frequencies. I guess it's just, I believe it just sounds fantastic for that. Lower frequencies, you always need to cut the lows when you go through a reverb. That's just something that you need to do. But still, you can use the plugins for the plugin for lush, long tail reverbs and modulated space, or you just can use it for tiny little short, medium halls or short rooms. You can. So hopefully you liked all this, and remember to like and subscribe. And if you have the money and you want to buy me a coffee, you can go to the links at the description. You have a button for PayPal. You have a link for PayPal. You have the YouTube thanks, and you have the Patreon. So you can be a 1 month patron and just buy me a coffee that way. Why not? Right. So see you on the next one.